Good morning, children. In last class, we saw the other modes of nutrition for the plants: heterotrophic nutrition, saprotrophs. Right? Heterotrophs means they depend on other plants for their nutrition. Saprotrophs means they depend on dead and decaying matter for their nutrition. Example we saw was fungi. So next we are going to continue from this saprotrophic mode of nutrition. That is symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship means two organisms are there. One organism will live on another organism and they both share shelter and nutrients. Okay? So it is just like your cuscuta, heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The plant cuscuta is living on another tree. It just twins on the stem and the branches. It founds a place for its shelter on another tree, right? So that kind of organisms which share shelter and nutrients, their living is called as symbiotic relationship. So example is fungi lives in the roots of the tree. We have seen fungi living in the roots of trees, right? So the tree is giving shelter to fungi. Okay? And it is also sharing the nutrients of the tree which is prepared by itself to the fungi. So the one gives life to the other and they both share the shelter. That kind of relationship is symbiotic relationship. And in lichens is actually not a plant. Okay, where have we come across this word lichen? In our chemistry, litmus paper is prepared from the plant lichens. So lichens cannot be completely told as a plant. I will show you the image, okay? It is a combination of algae and fungi. Is fungi a plant? No, right? Is algae a plant? No. But when they both combine together, we get the lichens, which is partially a plant and partially a microorganism. I can better tell like that. Okay. So algae, I already told you, it would be green in color and hence it has the green pigment chlorophyll in it and it is an autotroph preparing its own food, right? Fungus is a saprotype which feeds on dead and decaying matter. It cannot prepare its own food, right? So when they both live together, we get the lichens and they both share the shelter and nutrients. Fungi will provide the nutrients to the algae. Algae in return will give the food prepared by it during the process of photosynthesis because it will be green in color and it has chlorophyll. So they both share. Okay, this is called as symbiotic relationship. Next, we are going to see the other different ways how nutrition is supplied to plants. We saw the modes of nutrition starting from autotroph, heterotroph, insectivorous plants, how do they get nutrition, saprotypes, and then the symbiotic relationship of organisms. Next, we are going to see another few methods how nutrients is supplied to the plants. Now, think about the situation if a farmer in his field keeps on growing crops one after the other. First paddy, then wheat, then rice, sugarcane. He keeps on growing. What will happen to the amount of nutrition present in the soil in his field? It keeps decreasing, right? So, when he grows first paddy, the amount of nutrition supplied to the plant by the soil will be very high. And as he keeps on growing, the nutrition supply to the plant by the same soil will decrease, and the plant grown in such a soil is of no use. Correct? So, he brings some artificial nutrients to the plants. How come? By using fertilizers and manure. These two are the sources of nutrients supplied artificially to the plant. Fertilizers will have chemicals to replace the nutrients in the soil, and manure is the natural way, organic way. Organic way is nothing but, have you seen Kapan movie? Where Surya collects the human waste and turns it into a manure after storing it for few days, and he uses the same thing as a nutrient supplied to his field, right? So manure is the natural way of preparing nutrients to the plants by collecting animal and human waste and allowing it to react with the earthworms. Earthworms are nothing but the farmer's best friend. They decompose the collected waste and convert it into a usable manure. That process is called as vermicomposting, that you will be learning in detail in your upcoming lessons. So manure is the natural way of nutrients prepared from the animal and human waste. Fertilizers is a combination of chemicals, like the famous fertilizer is NPK, which has N stands for nitrogen, P phosphorus, K stands for potassium, your chemical elements. Okay, NPK. That is a famous fertilizer which would be sprayed to the soil in the field so that the soil regains its nutrients supplied to the plant. And the third way how can I regain the nutrients to the soil is with the help of a bacteria. That bacteria is called as nitrogen fixing bacteria. Do you remember this? I told about this nitrogen fixing bacteria in the starting of the chapter. How does the plant get nitrogen? They get the nitrogen either from the air, which is present in the gaseous state, or from the soil. In soil, they either use fertilizer and nitrogen fixing bacteria. So this nitrogen fixing bacteria does a very important job of converting gaseous nitrogen to a usable one. It collects the nitrogen which is present in the gaseous state from the atmosphere and it converts into a usable form and supplies to the plant through the soil. This is what the work of the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Yes, now coming back here, that nitrogen fixing bacteria are called as rhizobium bacteria. The name of those bacteria is rhizobium. Rhizobium means which provides nitrogen to the plant. This rhizobium bacteria will be present in the root nodules of the plants. Okay, in leguminous plants means like your grains, beans, all your green gram. All these things are called as legumes, the seeds, the grains from which we get it in the form of edible format. So the rhizobium bacteria takes shelter in these plants' root nodules. Root nodules is nothing but in the roots only, and they convert the atmospheric nitrogen into a nutrient for the plant. So the rhizobium bacteria is taking shelter in the root nodules. So they share a symbiotic relationship. Understood, children? I will show you the picture of the rhizobium bacteria and leguminous plants roots nodules now. Now let us watch some images regarding what we discussed. This is the cuscuta plant. Can you see here? The yellow color of the cuscuta plant is spreaded over the leaves of the another tree. So the green color tree is your host and the yellow color is the cascata, that is your daughter, means that is nothing but the heterotrophic mode of nutrition is observed by the cascata. Okay. Insectivorous plants, pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. These two plants absorb nutrients by eating insects. And this is what your lichens. Lichens, I told you, right? Lichens is nothing but, it is neither a plant nor a microorganism. It will allow the growth of both algae and fungi. This is also another view of lichens. Even this. So, here the algae, which is green in color, has a chlorophyll pigment in it and it prepares food. Whereas fungi, a saprotype, which feeds on dead and decaying organisms, prepares the nutrients. So they both share the shelter and hence their mode of nutrition will be hence they share a symbiotic relationship. Okay. This is a root of a leguminous plant. Okay. Can you see the seeds here? Some grains are located in the roots. A rhizobium bacteria is nothing but the nitrogen fixing bacteria will be present in the roots and they will convert the atmospheric nitrogen and deliver it to the plants as their nutrient. Okay, children, I didn't choose the exact image of the rhizobium bacterium. You can even Google search for it. If you have any doubt, you can call me. With this, your first chapter, nutrition in plants, that is in your biology, is getting over. The next class we can start with the book fair notes. Thank you, children.